John, have you got a mascot?
Yes, I have, Jimmy. I've been married a year now.
Oh, congratulations.
I know.
No, but think of her.
It occurred to me that I've nailed it. I'm really good at it. So I've released a book to help other people who might not be as good to be around as I am. And it's based on the old adage. My book's called How to Be Jon Richardson in the Parlour, Jon Richardson in the Kitchen, and a Whore in the Bedroom. Brackets, not really, Jon Richardson in the bedroom too. And it's a sort of everyday guide on just how to sort of think and behave, really. So there's a lot on hand dryers that you might find in pubs. Pros and cons of the best hand dryers are, of course, if you want to see the fat on your hand ripple. The air blade, of course, which changed it for all of us, but now they get that well in the bottom of dirty water that you don't really want to touch. There's,
although, if you put a bay leaf in it... transforms it into a lovely consommé.
There's sort of how to walk down the street guide there, so sort of how many points you would get for standing on each crack here. You've obviously got 3 grids here, so you'd have to make sure if you stood on the first 2, you didn't stand on the 3rd one.
Genuinely, is that what you would... walking down that street, that's what you would do?
Well, what I would do in this street, Jimmy, and I'm glad you asked... I would use this middle line here. I would just walk down that, and then I know if I can... I mean, it's quite a long stride for me, that. But if I can hit a crack each time, I know when I get to the end, I'm fairly even. At worst, there'll be a crack in or a crack out, but I'll even that way. Obviously, it comes with a few... You've got to sort of try and flood the market, haven't you, to get the sales. So I've got a year's supply of condoms, or as I call them, rubber johns. There's an extra supplement as well on how to load the dishwasher. We're still quite a long way behind as a society on that one. But I've brought... look at all that stationery. So this is a DDT. I've had this custom-made, double-desk tidy. And that's got everything I need for an episode of Countdown on it. Highlighter there if I get a 9.
Or in case Sean's hair needs going over.
4-coloured pen there for your notes. I take these with me on gigs, so you plan your material with the black ink, your ad-libs going green ink, your errors going red ink, and your blues just to back up black. You don't really need that. Shatterproof ruler.
Rod, have you got a mascot?
Yeah, I've messed up a bit, though, because I brought a mascot that I thought would wind John up and throw him and psych him out and completely mess with his head and put him off for the whole game.
Right.
Yeah, and then it backfired because I got put on his team.
Well, we have to see the mascot.
Well, no, we don't.
It's part of the show.
I know it's part of the show, but fuck it.
Well, let's have a look at it.
Well, but it's going to mess him up, and he's on my team.
Oh, he'll be all right. He'll be
Well,
fine with this.
The one
I don't think
thing
he'll
I
even
know
mind.
would mess with his head, like, really bad was just a really untidy, disordered cutlery drawer. Well, we need...
You're giving me something to do there. I'm already so excited at just what this is going to look like by the end. And I've separated soup spoons from...
With you, it's like, I know I can just do that, and you'll go mental.
Watch me go mental. Just leave it!
Genuinely know you won't like it. And genuinely know you won't like it. You won't like it.
Oh, it's Uncle Apples all over again.
It must be difficult for John's girlfriend to date someone with OCD. Every time she gets turned on, John turns her off again.
That is the best one you've ever done.
Thank you very much.
Alice and John have a hit podcast. Of course, podcasts are brilliant for anyone who enjoys radio but hates all that annoying quality control. Alice, tell us a bit about yourself and John.
What do you think, John? You're more of a Scrabble sort of countdown guy than I am.
Yeah, I had a potent Scrabble obsession as a teenager, and I played a few ex-champions.
Did you have a girlfriend in your teenage years?
I could find girlfriend if the letters were arranged. Ellis is also bilingual.
Yeah, Welsh is my first language, so I'll be answering in Welsh. Because you can't turn your first language off, Jimmy.
OK, now, John, you used to live with our Jon Richardson, didn't you?
Yeah, I lived with Jon for a year.
And is there anything we can do to help?
When we first met Jon, he was living in a bedsit in Bristol, and may I just say, it was the cleanest bedsit I or Avon and Somerset Social Services have ever seen. Then we moved in together, a group of comedians, into a shared house. But Jon was not quite used to sharing yet, so there was a negotiation about mess in which we would sort of go about our normal routine, and Jon had these... Suddenly,
just be careful. Let's just have an anecdote for an anecdote deal here.
All right.
You tell this story, and then Daddy will tell a story.
Are you now referring to yourself as Daddy?
I have a child. It's now legally accurate.
So you'd get these little... Out of nowhere, you'd be doing something, and a little northern passive-aggressive commentary would start up. So you'd be in the kitchen, and suddenly this voice would go, "Oh, right. Is that where we keep the Cocoa Pops now, is it?"
Where did we used to keep the toenails, John? Did we used to... Oh, no. I'll give you a clue, Jimmy. Oh.
Sorry, where were you putting your toenail clippings?
Cutting his toenails into the mugs.
Speaking of mugs...
Oh.
Jon once, in a fit of pique, was very frustrated with himself, and, like a lot of us do, wanted to take that out on a mug. However, what Jon brought to that was he was so worried about the mess it would make, he wrapped it in a tea towel first.
OK, Jon, have you got a mascot?
Yes, well, it's a chance to plug my latest project. I've written an erotic novel based on my own life.
Oh, God.
It's called Deep Clean. Do you like to hear some?
I mean, I'm a fan of erotic fiction.
All down the street, they could hear the screaming coming from the bathroom. "Harder, harder," she cried. "You'll never shift that lime scale like that." In the dimly lit bathroom, he stood naked, except for his clothes. Holding in his hand his pulsating, wet toothbrush. "All clean," he declared, scuttling into the bedroom. "That smells nice," she purred as he emptied the bottle into his hands and began massaging the soft flesh of her shoulders. "Good," he said, "and it's also killing 99.9% of all the bacteria on your back." Good old Carex.
You haven't written this, you've remembered it, haven't you?
When he'd finished, he stripped off slowly, making two neat piles of light and darks. "Are you going to tie me up?" she asked. "No," he laughed sarcastically. "I'm going to let you wander around the house willy-nilly while I'm trying to do the hoovering." Available in my garage.
All right, here we go. Jon, when you lived in a flat with Russell, what was the worst thing you ever did to your flatmates?
Oh, well, that would be the time that I got so tired of cleaning the flat that while they were out, I tidied the flat and then left them an itemised bill for my time at minimum wage. You know, I didn't want to overcharge the guys, but, you know, it's important they learnt that this shit doesn't happen for free.
All right, OK. What's the most unusual thing about your body?
Someone's touched it. My chest hair is sort of roughly heart-shaped.
Is this your Match.com profile we're listening to?
Very much.
OK, that will do, I mean, for weirdness.
I also have a little mole just in there. No.
Can you see that? A little mole? Oh, there is a little mole there.
People really hate it, because they go, "Oh, you've got a bit of chocolate," and I go, "No, it's a mole," and they go,
No, I can see why, it's really gross.
It's horrible, isn't it?
OK, so what are we going to go for, the chest hair?
Chest hair, yeah.
OK, weird
Let's
chest
leave
hair.
Molly out of
Shaved
it.
in a heart. And you shave it like that, do you?
No, it just grew like that. I'm like a sort of Care Bear.
OK, last question. When you lived with Russell, what was his most annoying habit?
Oh, well, Undoubtedly. I mean, he's got a thing for teaspoons. He likes to borrow them away as if there's going to come some sort of apocalypse and teaspoons will be the only currency and he will be king of all the worlds. His most annoying habit is that he flosses the skin in between the toes of his feet with his socks in the front room. You can sort of see it, you know, like when you turn a snow globe upside down.
When Jon lived with you, what was your most annoying habit?
I tell you what it might be. What I should point out, I don't do this anymore. Is it that then? Okay.
Well, I don't know, just whatever you're about to say, you still do.
No, I don't. I used to scratch my sort of feet with socks, and that was my thing. And Jon didn't like it.
Nobody liked it. I mean, the house wasn't split down the middle. He'd get the toes like that, and then he'd get the sock and he'd go...
Yeah, but I'll be honest, when I was doing that, and I suffered very badly from athlete's foot, which, you know, that was why I was doing it. I wasn't sort of...
Oh, yeah,
you know,
it wasn't for fun.
Yeah.
It was to get rotten skin off his feet onto the carpet of the living room. There was a purpose.
Normally, the only letters Geordies get are the ones from bailiffs.
Be very careful. I know people.
I don't.
You don't know anyone?
Nah.
Not at all?
Not really deep down.